Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Giant Beastcast, the number one show out there. The number one thing that could be going into your ear holes right now is the Giant Beastcast. And remember that the next time something goes into your ear hole. This is the Giant Beastcast. I'm Vinny Caravella. It's episode 283rd. It is October 22nd or October 23. If you're keeping the traditional Beastcast Friday calendar, we understand that in multiple timelines, you could be listening to this at any point, at any given time, and we appreciate that. No matter when or where you're listening, Alex Navarro, how beeth your earth holes?
I don't know, man. Whenever you start talking about ear holes, I just start thinking about that part in Wrath of Khan, and I don't want to do that. So let's just move on. How does that sound?
How's your nose hole?
Oh, that's not much better.
Okay, mouth hole. There are only so many. Okay, looking good.
Wow, I was too shy to do that.
Never let them know. Abby Russell, don't let them get too personal in there. They'll steal your dental records.
We talking hole talk? What's the deal?
How are your eye holes? Because you've got virtual. They've been in a virtual space, and we'll talk to that later. So I want to make sure you're ready for a full virtual. Good. Oh no!
Can I cross my eyes? Am I crossing them?
Never go full virtual.
You are, but it is weird on the Zoom. It looks like they're spreading out farther as you cross them, which is they can't be doing. But it looks like your actual eye sockets are moving further apart. That's
you gotta stop.
It's an optical illusion.
Yeah,
you gotta just keep going.
Bacalar, can you cross one eye and keep the other one going? No. Oh yeah, you can do it. You can do a lot of stuff with your eyeballs. Okay, does it hurt?
Pretty great.
Yeah, pretty great.
Yeah, it hurts. I only see the color red for the 10 seconds that follow, but that's fine. What's that?
How do you do that?
Just like practice. You practice anything for 8 years every day. You'll perfect it.
For those listening at home, they're all doing weird things with their eyes. They're all trying to do fun eye business. I had a blood vessel went in my eye. Just I decided to take.
Where'd it go?
I did all over my eye. Apparently. So I will not be doing straining any eyeball stuff this show. I think it's getting better.
Are they going to be able to save it?
My blood vessel.
No, your eye.
My eye. That's not funny, Jeff.
I think it's funny.
I thought it was a little funny.
That's not funny, Jeff. I don't know.
I think it's okay.
I don't know. I think it's getting better.
I don't know. You don't know?
I think it's getting better. I don't know. I don't like looking at it, so I don't. Who looks in a mirror anymore? Anybody?
Me.
You do? Okay.
You know what?
Periodically.
Some people don't have full-length mirrors?
I don't have a full-length mirror. Can you tell?
That.
Can you tell I don't have a full-length mirror?
If your outfit looks good.
What outfit? What's an outfit?
If your shoes match your shirt.
What's a shoe? How do I know if my shoes match my shirt? It wouldn't matter, Abby. Let her know. Are they?
How do you know if you got a stain on your pants?
No, I know I do. Just assume there is one.
There always is one. There's always one.
How's
the outfit together?
My outfit's looking great. Thank you. Thanks very much. I'm in a black t-shirt. I'm wearing Old Navy, giant bomb for the hat. So what do you think?
Yeah,
and no pants.
Your giant bomb.
Shorts. It is starting to get. They're starting to get pants weather, and I'm a little bit like, man, I never wear shorts because I never go to work in shorts. So this has been a fun shorts time.
Oh, but, I can't imagine you in shorts.
Yeah, so I've been wearing them. I've been wearing them around, but now maybe it's time for pants again. Maybe it's time to cover up. I think.
Yeah, it's unseasonably warm right now, so
it is like just about November, and it got back up to like 70.
It was 100% humidity yesterday and the day before.
That's nuts.
100%. And
all right.
It was not raining.
The air was just water.
It wasn't raining, but it felt like the rain was just hanging out, waiting to drop. It was just sitting there. Yes.
I guess, I don't know. I guess in the name of like filling some sort of Reichert quota, I'll ask the question.
Okay.
When 100% humidity is a thing, it just means there cannot be any more moisture in the air?
Saturated.
It means you will drown if you go outside.
Are you just in a pool?
Yes.
Well, I think that's what makes it like foggy and shit.
If you go outside,
very foggy.
you'll drown.
Yeah, it's like fog.
Very foggy.
You need a very long snorkel to get above it. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do? Stop polluting. What are you gonna do? Vote is what I say.
All this water we're just releasing into the atmosphere. It's really coming to bite us in the ass, isn't it?
I don't think you can vote moisture out of the air. I don't think that's how voting works.
Don't vote for moisture. Don't vote for water.
I mean, I won't.
Stop.
I'm voting dry. I voted dry my whole life. I'm not changing now.
If I'm elected, I will air condition the outside.
I voted dry. I will admit, I was a dry voter in 2008, but I changed to wet. But I could come back around. I'm an undecided right now. I could go either way.
How could anyone be undecided between dry and wet? How could anyone?
These days, 90% of people have already decided. I kind of like it moist. I'm just
about being moist.
All right, this is dumb. Let's move on. I don't even want to. It's stressing me out. My other eye is gonna burst if we keep this up. Speaking of not great, G.I. Joe is a video game that I have played.
This is what you're leading with, huh?
G.I. Joe Operation Blackout is a video game that is okay. Let me ask this: would you be more surprised if there were a good G.I. Joe game, or would you be surprised if they made a bad G.I. Joe game?
I'm surprised you're playing a G.I. Joe game.
I would be surprised if they made a good one.
Prepare to be.
I would expect a G.I. Joe game to be middle of the road.
It is middle of the road. It is neither terrible nor great. But it is a bit expensive at $40. G.I. Joe Operation Blackout. You can get a $50 version that gets you a couple more skins and an art book and stuff. Available on Xbox, Switch, PS4. Got a quick look going up on the site, I think, tomorrow. It's a third-person, behind-the-back, run and gun your way through pretty mediocre level designs, and the aiming doesn't feel great. And again, it's not terrible. Like, it's very. I think Jason A. Striker said on the quick look we did that it is very like Xbox 360 reminiscent. I don't know. I don't know what I want from a G.I. Joe game. I do know what I want from a G.I. Joe game. I want a Rainbow Six game with G.I. Joe characters. I want them to make a G.I. Joe versus Cobra Rainbow Six thing. But I'll stop monologuing about G.I. Joe. I could see the interest. The interest in the room is settle down, everybody. Settle down.
I don't know what you were expecting. I mean, we knew what the setup here was. Yeah. This is a G.I. Joe game from the publisher of Big Rigs. Yeah. What was that going to be? Good?
It could have been worse. Right?
I don't know a single damn thing about G.I. Joe. So I'm sorry to not be able to
guess the thing about G.I. Joe. I want you to. Take a swing.
He's in the military.
Yeah, okay. It's kind of paramilitary. Yeah, okay.
He has green face paint.
Somebody must.
He fights in a jungle-like environment.
Sometimes. You nailed all three. So you say
okay, great.
Now tell me about.
Tell me about. Play the game.
Tell me about Cobra.
Oh God.
Cobra.
Now, you almost said it the
right
way.
Acronym for cool or big armies.
Yeah. Wow. Armies. Yeah, but you got it.
Wait. Whatever.
Yeah. They like snakes a lot. Nailed it. And that's what this game. You can check out the quick look coming up. It is. There is only local co-op. There is only local multiplayer. There is kind of like a versus mode for it. There is not really a lot to do. You've kind of seen the game once you've made it through like an hour or so, and it kind of repeats there for a while. So yeah, not too much. Let's talk about something else that might be more engaging. How about NHL 21? Okay.
Sure. I'll talk about that.
All right.
Take it away.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. I want to bring everybody in here. Big tent. Let's go. Come on in. What's up with the hockey?
Welcome to the hockey tent.
Okay.
Welcome to Hockey Town. Population, me and Alex.
Go for it. Okay, I'll moderate. On this
I'll
side,
be a visitor. I want a tourist of Hockey Town. I got my suitcases.
Yeah.
I got my passport ready. I want to visit Hockey Town.
On this side, we are an audience of one. Abby Russell, the undecided hockey enthusiast, does not know whether to get NHL 21. Whether dry hockey. On this side, Jeff Bacalar, anti-hockeyist. On the other side, Alex Navarro, pro-hockey. Jeff Bacalar, why do you hate hockey?
Wow, this is quite the debate exercise.
Answer the question.
Yeah.
I don't hate hockey, as you might know. I just don't really like NHL 21 a great deal.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too.
Oh, okay. We don't really do questions from the audience, but please go ahead.
But hey,
go ahead. Why not?
Now.
Yeah.
Mr. Bacalar.
Yes,
is
you
hockey
with the
ice
zebra shirt on.
Wet or dry? People in chat are liking this shirt, by the way. Okay, you're ready to dunk on me already for this shirt, but don't you even come at me. I got people at me about how good the sweater is, and I know it's a lot. I don't care. I'm making it work. I'm committing to it with confidence. Anyway, good joke. Is hockey ice wet or dry?
You're dressed for the ice. What?
Is hockey ice wet or dry? It really was not worth me saying it 4 times.
It's both. I mean, it's you want it to be dry, but as the game goes on, or right after it gets cut with the Zamboni, it's a little wet.
Alex Navarro, would you like to respond to Jeff Bacalar saying that he does not like NHL 21?
So I think Jeff has played a little bit more of it than I have, but I've played a decent amount of it, and I will echo the sentiment that I have not really found a whole hell of a lot in NHL 21 to like.
Okay, now it's time for free discussion. Both of you can talk at your leisure.
It's I mean, like for me, that game, I mean, I wasn't expecting anything more or less than what we got, and I think that's sort of maybe been able to soften the blow of it all for me. This happened last generation, where the NHL was sort of like, had to repeat the 6th grade, and it didn't necessarily get didn't qualify for making the jump, which is a bummer, but it's the same game as far as I can tell. I've played about, I don't know, 10 games of it so far, and every nuance that I find myself super frustrated with is still there, because it's just the same engine. It's the same game. They slapped a fresh coat of paint on it, sort of, and that's really it. And while I mean sort of, not really, because it's still like it's still sort of like the 19-20 season stuck in there, or like the 18-19 season, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's been repeating the 6th grade almost for like 6 or 7 years now.
Yeah,
like it's really, at a certain point you just kind of need to move it somewhere else, because clearly this education system is not working for it. Yeah, so I don't know, have you played much of like the modes outside of just like playing one-on-one hockey? Because I played a bunch of the be a player mode and some of the franchise stuff as well.
Yeah, I did a little bit of the online stuff, which is fine. But no, for me, like I just want to know, like, how's it doing the hockey? And it's just
the hockey is like, it's
really
playable.
Yeah,
it's like fine.
It's a video game. It works,
Yeah.
It's definitely but I mean, you might as well like look at our quick look from last year, and you're probably gonna see the same thing.
Yeah. And I will say that they had touted some changes this year to stuff like be a player and franchise. And I can say that the franchise stuff at the very least feels very slight. And the be a player stuff, they're sort of angling toward like trying to make it more of a narrative mode. Like, it's not just, like, hey, you start out playing hockey games and then you're in the NHL. Like there's some like dialogue choices between you and the coach and your agent and all that stuff. And as far as I can tell, the only thing it has served this mode to do is make it longer. Like none of the actual dialogue choices are interesting, or the, like nothing about the player personality or sort of given the opportunity to create is interesting. It's just, now sometimes you're interrupted with cutscenes where you're talking to a different guy, and then you get to decide what to say to that guy, and then you go play some hockey. And that's kind of it. It's just not compelling in any way.
It seems like there is a bit of an effort, just stepping away from that part of the experience. There is an effort to kind of like make players, they've been doing this for a couple of years where like they want to make players stand out uniquely in terms of their play style. And there was one year where that really came out in a noticeable way, where you had players who skate certain ways, who just have a certain kind of gait to them. And that for me stood out. And this year it seemed like they were trying to go for some sort of, maybe not skating likeness, but basic kind of, moment to moment, way that a player conducts themselves. And I haven't really seen that play out in a way that sort of validates that claim. But again, like, I will do a couple more games with this, and I will, hopefully you and I can do something with it. But yeah, I don't know. What was I expecting? Nothing.
What were you expecting?
I'm not disappointed. I'm not disappointed.
I mean, it's EA Sports. EA Sports, the level of effort they're putting into all their sports stuff at this point is pretty minimal. And like NHL is like the furthest down all the rungs of that ladder. So it's just like, I guess in a way, I'm almost surprised when anything good does happen with it. Not because I don't think there are people over there that want to make a good hockey game. It just seems like they are getting zero resources, zero momentum to do anything with that series.
And that does it for our hockey NHL 21.
No more? We gotta stop talking hockey?
No, I know you're upset.
It's terribly disappointing. I know.
You're upset. I get it.
We'll be back with more NHL 21, hopefully, in a quick look soon. Let's see what else. I played that Age of Empires 3 a little bit more. We recorded a quick look with one Ben Pack. It is up on the site right now. He takes you through Age of Empires 3. I have learned yet again that I have no fondness for Age of Empires 3, and it was mostly all Age of Empires 2.
Is it because you don't like Age of Empires 3, or you just didn't play that much of it?
Both.
Okay.
I think it's because
you didn't have to say it like that, but okay.
Both. I think it's because it came out. I looked at the dates, and it came out like while I was a working adult and probably had less time to play games versus Age of Empires 2, where I was a college kid, and it followed that trend of get that camera a little bit closer there and get me those hero units, where I was more of a just let me make units, just let me make all the little armies and run them around. I don't want the hero units and the abilities and the cards. I didn't even remember there were cards in that game and ability cards and all that stuff. So you can check the quick look out to see what the enhanced edition of Age of Empires 3 is. That game is also on Game Pass for PC if you just want to download that and try it out on your PC. Abby Russell, I want to get into your VR experience here. What's been cooking there? You've got this VR. First, describe your rig.
I bought an Oculus Rift S. Which is a rig that you got to plug into the computer, because there's like the Quest, which you don't have to, and I guess the Quest 2 where you can or you can not. But I got the Rift S.
And
so far, I'm loving it.
Okay.
It was a thing. I bought a little bit impulsively. And then after I bought it, in like the 2 days it took to get here, I was like, wait, what am I going to play on? But then I got it and I put it on my head, and there was like this little intro where you see like, well, one, you put it on, and then I don't have to have the like thing set up in a room where it's like tracking my motion. It's like all built into the headset where it has these cameras shooting out of it. So I put it on, and then everything looks like virtual reality, but I'm looking at my room, and I can like draw my play space, which is very cool.
Okay.
And works in this office, because this office is like a little too small for it, but I'm doing it anyway.
I feel like that's the VR experience.
Very cool.
Yeah,
so I did that, and then it like went through the intro of like, you're in an Oculus, and then it's like all these purple buildings and like shit growing around you, and like that alone was amazing. And then you like play with this little robot in like this van, you like putting in floppy drives and everything. And I was like, by the end of that, I was like, even if this is the only thing I do, fucking worth it. It was so cool. It was so immersive. I think VR is so fucking neat. It like truly feels like I'm in the future when I'm using it. I have 3 games for it right now, because I was like, I got it and I was like real jazz, and I was like, you gotta get these games. So I got Beat Saber, which is my favorite of them. I just want to play it all the time. It's so satisfying. It's so fun. It also feels really good to play. The music's fun. I do want to know if there's like music add-ons similar to like a Rock Band. I saw that there was like some DLC packs. I didn't really investigate it fully. It wasn't really for bands that I followed, but I would love I feel like all I'm getting right now is like EDM music, which is fine. That seems to be what is in their campaign, but it's not just like the first choice for me. I also got Super Hot, which I think is like the least hot one I'm on with it. Where like the intro was really fun, and then I feel like the more I play of it, the more I'm like a little bit annoyed by the checkpointing. It feels like it's like every time I die and have to restart, it like
goes a bit frustrating.
too far back.
That game's got some frustrating checkpoints.
yeah, I don't love the checkpointing in it, and it's just making me not really want to get back into it, but I probably will eventually. And I've also been playing Half-Life Alyx.
What do you think?
Which I've been enjoying. It feels like the most like this is a full video game in VR, kind of for better and for worse. Like it feels like a video game, but I think with VR, you know, I like the immersiveness of it. And this Half-Life Alyx is definitely very immersive. You're in sort of this like, I think it's like a sort of future Russia kind of world. Looks sort of European, but I know Russia's not in Europe, but you know what I mean. But you see like these big like
the Russian Federation is considered. I mean, yes, a lot of it is in Asia, but the Russian Federation is considered part of Europe, I believe.
Okay, I'll take it. Anyway, you see these like big alien monsters with like robotic parts like stomping around the city and like stepping on your roof and stuff, which is very cool and stuff flying around. But also it feels a little bit like, you know, those like amusement park rides where you're like going into like an alien spaceship and you can see like the lights flashing and there's smoke, but like you're stuck behind the barrier and you can't touch anything, you can't interact with anything. It's very much just like, this looks neat.
Like a Disney ride, like one of those Disney rides where it's all set up and you're just in a little car that spins back and forth.
Yeah,
like a haunted house.
Like that. Yeah, and it has like, you know, and like there's definitely stuff you can pick up, and like there's a really cool mechanic where you can like hold your hand out and then like suck something to you, which feels like the real life thing I want to do anyway, where I just want to like hold my hand out and the remote comes to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, use the force.
And you like putting stuff into your backpack and then like pulling it out to like reload your gun, which feels very immersive and cool. But also it has like loading screens, which feel very antiquated, where like you'll end a section and then you have to like load into the next one, which is like not the biggest deal in the world, but it does just feel like a little less immersive than I think what I want out of like a VR setup. But it does feel like a fully fledged, like this is a video game as video game just in VR, which is really cool. And I'm still semi early into it, so I'm eager to see where it goes. Really enjoying it. For the first like 20 minutes, I was like, man, I feel so short. Like I feel like everything is just like I'm like 6 inches shorter than I feel like I should be. And then I realized I was crouching.
Oh.
So I stopped crouching. And then I was like, I'm so tall. My legs are so long.
I hope you were crouching in real life. You realized you were just crouching in real life and then stood up.
Yeah, and then I just straightened my legs. Problem solved.
Weird.
Anyway, I am loving it. I want everyone's VR recommendations.
Okay.
Minecraft is free, so I just downloaded it.
Okay.
Google Maps is free. I downloaded that too. I haven't tried either yet, but it is so fun and so cool and so immersive, and it's so nice to not have to have like it was such an easy thing to set up. I truly just like plugged it in my computer, put the controllers on, and started playing, which was nice. A few complaints.
Okay.
I have a complaint from Best Buy, which is where I ordered this from.
Oh,
they
Best Buy beef.
To me
okay, here we go.
In the box it comes with, which has Oculus logo on it. It's very clearly an expensive VR rig. And also, they didn't put it in, it was like not inside any other box. It was not taped. You can just open it up and see the VR kit and just like take anything out of it.
And it wasn't inside a shipping box
at all, and it was not in anything.
How did it not
like I was like, someone opened this.
Yeah.
Like maybe somebody thought it was their package and they opened it, and then it was like, no, there's a label on the side. They shipped it to me like that. And I think that is so skeevy and weird. Okay. And I'm still like, I feel weird about it. I'm like, who's messed with my VR? I might, because I was like really unhappy with it. Anyway, also, this seems to be a known issue. I might have to send it back, but I really don't want to have to deal with all that right now.
Been there.
But like,
yes.
When I plug my headset into it, it only comes out of the right ear, and I can't get it to come out of the left ear.
Oh.
So I've just been doing it with no headphones on, and like the internal speakers work pretty well. I have no idea how loud it is for like the other people in this office. I think it's okay because it's like really close to my head, so I don't think they can hear it. But like, I wish I could wear headphones, and I think there's maybe like a fix where I have to like open it up, but it's just like it kind of stinks that like right when I got this thing, I'm already a little bit like, why wasn't it packaged better? And two, like,
I wonder if you got a returned one or something, or like an open box one.
I didn't want to say it, but that's exactly what it sounds like.
Well, my thing is like all of the cables were wrapped in the Oculus packaging. Like all of the cables
sealed?
were like intact with like the little sticky seal. Like it would be hard to get it to look as like
I got a machine that could do that here.
I mean, maybe I did. Either way, I was like upset with how it was shipped.
Yeah, but if your if your headphone jack isn't working, that's not cool. That's
that
needs
cool.
to be fixed.
And I need to talk to them about it. I know it's going to be a pain in the ass when I have to ship it back. I'm like, but I'm having fun.
Yeah, I know.
It's also a thing. It seems like a common issue.
I wonder if that's something you can ask Oculus about versus Best Buy and have them send you a box and or if they'll just be like, like sometimes I feel like 80% of the time they're like, go to where you bought it and deal with it. But,
oh, really?
I don't know.
I will probably like go to like the Oculus help on Twitter or whatever, and then also maybe I'll DM. I just feel like what is me like yelling at Best Buy achieve? I have my Oculus. It seems to be relatively intact. Like,
That's not good enough.
Achieve by like
no, not yelling at them, but you should definitely be like, should not be relative. It's an expensive item that should work when you open the box. Like that is the least that they could do. Is
it was also just felt like weirdly invasive to be like, why is this just like easy access? I put this on my freaking face.
Sweaty, and it was sweating it.
I would definitely hit them up and be like, so here's the deal.
It's broken.
Plus it's broke. First and foremost, it is not working in the way it is supposed to.
And I don't think don't do it on Twitter. Just send them a support email, see how it goes.
Well, they have those like specific support Twitters that you like DM them. It's private. It's like a private DM. That's what I did for my like. That's what I did from all my like. Every time my internet was down, I was like, "Okay, Comcast or whatever." I forget what my internet was, but
yeah. Sending a DM is not the same as angrily demanding to see someone's manager in public.
That's more just like, here is your online chat system. Hello, please help me.
I don't know. That still feels weird. I guess it only feels weird because we have like followers that could go and be like, "Well, who's that?" It sometimes feel like that might. Again, I never want to feel like I'm jumping the line, but they'll definitely click on your profile and be like, "Oh, this Abby Russell could be a problem if we don't solve this one. She might go out there and just take to the streets."
If at that point they are like worried about me saying shit, they're gonna know I'm fucking saying it on a podcast in front of our audience.
No,
like,
Best Buy is
me DMing someone on
John
Twitter.
Best Buy is not listening to this podcast, but he is on Twitter.
Oh, Best Buy. The Oculus people probably are.
No, only Stadia people apparently. So Abby, your adventures in VR positive so far?
So cool. All I want to do is play it. It's the only thing. It's like a little bit uncomfortable right on like the tip of my forehead. There's like no padding right there, so it like hurts a little bit. But all in all, I love it. It truly feels like I'm living in the future. It feels like money well spent. Which is always like the worry with sort of like a gimmicky thing like this, but it feels so cool and like a cool experience that I'm not getting from any of my other consoles. And I feel like what I'm playing so far has been really fun, even Super Hot, just a second, Alex, Super Hot, which I'm like not as hot on, it's still like really cool and fun, and I'm enjoying my time with it. And nothing has been making me feel nauseous or sick or anything. And I feel like from what I hear, it seems like the new stuff that keeps coming out is only getting better and better, which I think is really cool. Alex, you had a question.
Well, my question is from Abby, living in the future. I have one question. Do we make it? Are we okay there in the future? Because I have some anxiety around that.
Buddy, you don't want to know.
Abby, I have a question.
Live in your VR world. Get a VR family because best we've got for a while. Yes.
So you haven't gotten nauseous yet. Would you like to get nauseous yet?
No, but yes. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying.
That's a bone cruncher. It's like a bone.
Is there a vomit comet you want to put her on?
Yeah, basically. I would just say fuck around with Boneworks a little bit. I know there's like to
make myself barf.
Yes, this is a pay-per-barf experience. I know there's like a sit-down mode where you're okay, apparently. Let's just say that is the game that ended my VR career.
Great.
So, why would I'm like a week into it? I'm not ending
but you're like young and your equilibrium isn't as fucked up, so you should do it.
I feel like VR has made me a little queasy before.
Okay, try it out. You should try it out.
Also, I played that Surgeon Simulator 2 on stream, and that made me so queasy. And that wasn't even VR, and like that was so uncomfortable and awful that like I'm like, I don't want to experience that ever again. No, that's not what video games should do for me.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you have fun Oculus or just VR games, let me know. You're
making me want to get one, and I don't want one. That's the you're an influencer. Look at you, just an influencer.
You do want one. You do want one, and it's so cool. This is not me being like, Vinny, you want one, but I think like if you tried it, you would probably have a great time with it. I've tried VR, cool.
And I do, and that's what
I had it in your home, and you can have it with your kids. I think it'd be really cool.
I think that's the thing that is bumming me out. Like we used to be able to like once a year go try all the VR stuff and all the good stuff over on the West Coast. And be like, we're gonna go over there. Oh, good, they've curated the good VR. Let's just try this stuff out, and then be like, I'm good for a year. And now without that, I mean, I've got the PlayStation VR, which I actually did wind up playing this weekend, but it's the same. I just play the robot, Astrobot games with the playroom
online.
with the kids. You have PSVR, no? Oh no, you didn't. You used the Office PSVR. Yeah.
And I seriously considered putting it in my backpack when things closed up to be like, well, maybe, but I didn't. Look at me now.
Look at you now. Now you're in another VR unit.
Yeah.
Abby, anything else? Any other games you want to talk about?
I have also been Fortnite had a new Halloween update, which is pretty neat, which is like a Fortnite battle royale, but when you die you turn into like a ghost. And you can even be like a ghost as your squad, and then you can kind of like fight people as a ghost. It's neat.
Spooky.
It's also like the whole map is like foggy and spooky and has like Halloween decorations on like the houses, which is just like a nice touch. I will say playing the ghost map solo, not fun. Playing the ghost map with the group, very fun. But it's just I feel like it's like a holiday theme done right. I feel like, I've been playing a lot of Fortnite this year. I know I've been talking about it a lot. It's been a great quarantine, hang out with my friends game. But it's also their free updates are really so good. And they have all the spooky Halloween skins that are not free, and I am spending money on them. They're doing their job.
Red Dead Online has their Halloween pass, and
I heard it's not very good.
I am not excited about it because their other pass just ended. And I didn't get to use it nearly as much as I wanted to. And that one's done now. And then this one is out there and it's 15 gold, but you can't earn gold from it. So I like when the pass lets you, if you get far enough along in it, earn that gold. And you can't. So it can't pay for itself in the end. It's just kind of a money sink. And I don't think the stuff in it's that great. I don't know. I've been playing a little more Red Dead Online. I play every week there, a little of that Red Dead Online, get my moonshine in business going. Apparently my brothers both managed to, even with one in Australia, managed to hit the double XP week worth of stuff. And so the last time I jumped on, they're all like max level, and I'm sitting there, carving a fucking stick while they're running around with shotguns.
Flowers.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I got to catch up. Now I got to work extra hard as my cowboy. I played
a lot of online. I feel a little like lukewarm on it, but I did play a lot of Red Dead 2 online and enjoyed my time with it.
So they've added some stuff, and I don't know. It's still listen. You get in there, you do your thing, and you make the numbers go. Yeah, it's a good game to hang out. It's a good thing to do with people you want to catch up with, because nothing is that intense where you can't still have a conversation. It's like,
yeah, for sure. That's the beauty of Fortnite.
What? I feel like you got to be good at Fortnite to have a conversation. I'm in Fortnite, I'd probably be like, shh, I think I see. Watch out.
No. I mean, I will say, because I've talked about my like elite group versus my #casual group.
Oh, #casual.
Elite group, the conversation is worse because it's like you'll be chit-chatting and then they'll be like, I got to start building. And then I'm like, I don't want to fucking build. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm just like running out into an open field. Whereas with my casual group, it's like, I've died 20 minutes ago. Like nobody realized because we're just still talking about whatever we were talking about. You know what I mean?
That's about the level I like.
Yeah, it's what makes it fun.
Alex, anything else aside from that hockey you want to talk about?
Not really. I mean, I've been playing more Hades. I finally dove back into Spiritfarer for a little bit.
Nice.
I did play a little bit of Phasmophobia on my own. Just to kind of dip my toes.
I want to do that.
My toes, see what it's like.
Can we do something with that? Like, I want to do.
They did something last week. They played it last week on the site.
We could do more.
I know. I really didn't get like an invite. I wasn't expecting an invite. I'm not trying to make this that. But that game's kind of like my shit. I feel like.
Talking about Phasmophobia.
Phasmophobia, yeah. So
he's trying to make us feel guilty for not inviting him to play.
No,
which,
I swear I'm not doing that.
He said, "Why'd you bring Jan on?" Which I thought was really rude. I thought that was a fucked up thing to say.
I need to watch it. I haven't even seen it. It's
nice, good,
right.
good dig.
This is not what this is. I just want to play with you guys. So
Jeff, I would love to play with you.
Let's do it.
I will say I was recently playing with Alex Boniel, a friend of the site. And we hadn't played together before. And I, at this point, I'm like level 10. I am like not afraid of anything. I have like all this shit. I don't ever die. And he was like shocked at how much I seem to know and be aware of. I think I'm getting to the point where the game is not scary for me at all. I feel like it's less fun when you have more than 2 people. Like I think I enjoyed it more when it was just us 2, Vinny, because I feel like it was scarier. It was harder to juggle things. Whereas when you have 4 people, it's just like, this is easy as fuck.
Yeah, that was totally my impression too.
Yeah, when you have more, when it's a game where, if for folks who don't know, you should go watch the play date we did, or you can watch the 6 Crazy Frights with me and Abby. But it's a game where you're paranormal investigators and you're going inside creepy haunted places and trying to investigate what kind of ghost it is through, I don't know, the odds and ends of paranormal investigation, spirit boxes and EMF readers and all sorts of fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun
tools.
goofy stuff. You can like checking temperatures.
Yeah. But the ghost
like,
can kill you.
Yeah, and like it has like the real chat, and it has like speech recognition. So you say the ghost's name, and you say like, "How old are you?" If you're on like a spirit box, it's like child, adult.
Yeah. So the game is very much one of the, it's weird because we've played a couple of them now that are just like, use your microphone, use the in-game chat, because that's how the ghosts hear you. That's how they kind of want to interact with you. And so it's got proximity chat when you're playing with other people. So you use walkie-talkies and, you can make the ghost mad. But when you're playing with 4 people, you can kind of bring all the items you want on the first round into the haunted house. And so there's not as much running back and forth through the truck, and you kind of could almost figure out what the ghost is right out of the gate. Where, Abby, when you and I were playing, we had to make multiple trips and be like, okay, I'm going to bring this thing, and like, oh, we have the bad flashlight, and all that stuff. So I
found that much more fun.
I think it needs to scale a little bit more.
Yeah,
it does. I really like the concept of it, and I think the earliest runs in that game are probably your scariest because you don't really know what's going on, and you're just kind of trying to fumble your way through it while there are weird ghosts hunting you. And I think like you said, I think 4-player experience is not balanced well. But I will say, as much as I would love a good version of this game, the janky ass version that currently exists right now is delectable. I adore it. I adore all the ways in which the characters like mutate themselves when you're crouching or when you're standing, like all the weird glitchy stuff in there. Like I in a way, I kind of don't want them to fix it, because the ways in which that game occasionally breaks seem hilarious, but not in like this ruined my game experience kind of way, more of like I can't fucking believe that happened. That was amazing kind of way.
But it was definitely the scariest game. It is up there, let's say, in one of the scariest games. I think maybe Amnesia was the only other one that kind of gave me some.
Well, there's a new one of those if you want one.
Yeah, yep. The Amnesia, the part that got me was that there. I don't know if anybody here has played a lot of it. It's the thing in the water where you the footsteps in the water and stuff. Where it's
yes, that water section is a nightmare. And you gotta like open the doors. And,
yeah.
No, I know.
Well, how did we get the Phasmophobia? Oh, Alex, you said you played some.
I had touched a little bit of it, yeah. So, and I watched you guys play it on Friday.
Yeah, I really like playing it. I think even though it's not scary anymore, I do still like playing it. I think for me, I would rather stick to smaller groups because I do think once it gets bigger, less fun. But
I
also,
think a pair seems like ideal. Yeah, like 2 people.
Like, I feel like we'll get to those big spaces, like the big school and like the big asylum, and it's a thing that it takes a little bit. It's like fun to go out in pairs and like, hey, we'll go find the ghost. But I've also had instances where it's like, we've been walking around for 20 minutes. We have no idea where this ghost is, and we cannot seem to find it. And also, we are lost in this asylum, and not in a way that's like fun and spooky, but in a way that's like, just show me where the ghost is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think at some point you want to get the job done. let's backseat game develop for a little bit. So I think you could probably add multiple ghosts, right, to scale if you really wanted to scale some of that stuff, so that you have to buy more equipment to get the multiple ghosts. I think you could also do a little bit with like spray paint or tagging walls in those big places, so you can mark doors that you've seen. That's a thing that
we might have like glow sticks.
You have
that
glow
I think
sticks,
you're supposed to use a little bit like breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
But
I would rather
it's
just have
also
like a spray paint that you just mark a thing. And I think I would almost even tone down the crucifix or the smudge stick stuff. I think you shouldn't be able to. When that ghost starts hunting you, that's scary. That's the part where it gets the.
It is scary. I think for me though, half the time that stuff doesn't work. It's also like you're taking valuable pocket space, which is why I don't seem to mind those as much. I think, I want also the ghost to scare you in different ways. Like I feel like every ghost, no matter what it is, like kind of shows up in the same way, and it's still exciting and fun, but it's just like, yep, this is the same haunting, same kind of thing every time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And again, I think the dev team is very small, so don't take this as a criticism. People that make this game, because I think it's actually pretty awesome. But
it's great. I love it.
The sanity effects. I think like if you opened, like if you're really low and you just maybe start seeing more ghosts, or you're the other companion players start looking like the ghost or something like that, and you're like holding a crucifix with somebody else, and the mics are out and you can't hear them, or like you walk through a door and you're back in the same room, like those kind of weird things that could happen if your effects go, or if your stuff goes bad. Just start getting.
And I think I went more like environmental stuff, where it's like I'm walking with a group of my friends and they all go out through a doorway and I'm falling behind and the door slams in front of my face but not theirs, and we're like stuck on either side, like stuff like that is like genuinely like, oh no, we're scary and it feels dangerous. Because I feel like there's not enough in that game that feels dangerous.
Or like what if it recorded somebody's voice at some point and then put the player in the thing and played back a bit of their recording that only you hear.
Some kind of like annihilation thing.
Just like well, I'm just thinking more like hallucination, like like, oh,
yeah, I'm down.
Like, why are you talking to me? And then everybody else is like, Abby, what are you talking about? We're not talking, but you're only talking to this, you're talking into a dead end. Anyway, that game's cool. It's a cool thing. Alex, anything else you want to talk about?
That's all I got right now.
Bacalar, anything you want to get to here?
Yeah, sure. I've been playing some more stuff on Xbox Series X. I have found that mostly everything that I complained about not being compatible has now been made compatible, which I think is pretty cool. That, we're getting closer to launch and
it's rolling out.
Everything's rolling out, and now, as far as I can tell, there's nothing that I've tried to play that won't work.
So Force's in there. I think by the last week, I think Halo was already in there.
Halo's in there. Forza's in there. Even like weird random stuff that I had tried. Like I don't know why I was obsessed with like seeing how many 360 games actually worked on this thing, but pretty much everything in my library is now working.
Well, we are getting down to it. It is. It is impossible. God, it is so impossible here in the States to count the console releases, because it is like after the election, and that is just soaking. It is the black hole of all light. So it is impossible to be like, well, launch day is almost here for the consoles, and then not just have and that's right around the election here in the States.
Yeah, so there's these two shiny, beautiful boxes like at the end of a tunnel that has been painted onto a brick wall called election, and we're all running straight forward.
Yes. Yeah, so Wile E. Coyote style.
That's some Acme bullshit right there. I just started playing Watch Dogs Legion, which we could talk about next week.
Okay.
And yeah,
that's, you were I don't know if you can even say, but on the Series X, you're playing it. Great.
And yeah, we'll talk about it.
Okay, great.
Next week. And yeah, I just also wanted to quickly shout out our friends at also, I went a little. You know what I did? A couple weeks ago, I came on here. And I'm like, oh, I'm a mechanical keyboard person now. You guys gotta help me.
It's like Bug Snacks, but for mechanical keyboard. You've eaten a mechanical keyboard, and now your toes are just cherry reds.
My toes are just switches now. And the instant amount of feedback that I received was quite overwhelming, to say the least. The people from mechanicalkeyboards.com, our buddy Jason over there, who's like reached out to me at the speed of light, sent us this care package that
Jeff, you're an influencer.
That's the name of the game now.
Wow.
So I don't know. I want to figure out something with all this stuff. I have a very I have just a desire to build these keyboards. So
what does it take to build a keyboard?
Like a fun thing to stream.
Yeah.
Do you need pliers?
I think I have most of the required accoutrement, because I work on pinball machines, and you just need like
haunted ghost
and just bird's blood and all the stuff that
you need for pinball. A stack of quarters, some bird. Right.
To exercise your pinball machine, you can do this for your mechanical keyboard as well.
A spare room in your house, fairly large.
just just a place to really flood a room. Like if you could flood a room with a lot of holy water and have a good drainage system, more power to you. I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot about what kind of things you really need to worry about. I got to get my hands on some more keyboard lubrication.
Of course you do.
So
hey,
maybe we don't.
Do you have to? Okay, I'll just interrupt you. Do you have to solder each switch into the PCB?
So there's certain boards that are called hot swap where you can take like the switch out and just pop it in and out.
It's got a socket. Okay.
With like a pair of like switch pullers.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of them. I guess probably the majority of them are solder.
Is that 3 contacts per switch or 2?
2.
2. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, there's 2 contacts and then there's like a stabilizer stem.
Okay.
That you have to pop in and solder. It's not a big deal.
You're gonna get real good at soldering.
Hey man.
I
already am. Just because I soldered a lot of shit with that Funhouse machine. It kept burning me on purpose because it's haunted. And I lost a lot of the feeling in my left thumb for a month, but whatever, it's back now and I'm a good solderer again. So,
okay.
Yeah, I have enough to make 2 boards and, maybe we'll stream this if that's a thing.
I'll watch you solder. Do you have a fume hood? Did you got a fan or something?
I got an open window.
There you go. Just put a fan blowing across you. You're fine.
Yeah, I got an
open thing that brings air.
Right, I got an open window and like I could do that.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, you hold your breath when you solder and then breathe after the fumes are gone.
You would really watch me solder?
I would watch you solder for at least an hour.
Well, shit, I don't know if it's going to take an hour. It might take like I don't know 6, but
I don't know. That might be outside my solder zone.
No, look, as someone who's actually seen a couple full build streams, I'm not a pro build streamer. There's a lot of like, bullshitting and a lot of like, elbow rubbing back and forth. So like, I bet we could probably get it done in like 2 to 3 hours.
Okay. Solder.
You're going to just 1 board. So we'll build 1 for now.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys would do that?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
How many?
Happily.
Yeah. Solder.
Will
anyway,
can you make me one of the tiny keyboards? They have little ones, right? I want one that's like just the number pad or like customizable, like switcher. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't have a small little board for like a numpad, but we can get one. I'll get one.
It's fine. You don't have to. I was just curious, just trying to make it fun and more about me, which is what I like to do.
I didn't know that. All right, cool. So, yeah, we'll figure it out. I have enough for 2 boards right now, I think, but maybe we'll do some more. And again, thanks to Jason at mechanicalkeyboards.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
That's
pretty
cool.
stoked. Pretty stoked.
Do you think you're so lucky that your interests are things that are like a little more niche, where I feel like it's much easier to get somebody who's like, finally someone's into pinball. Another keyboard head, please. Let me hit you up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have. It is a interesting situation where it's like this very thin sort of slice of hobby life that I've like, kind of, I don't know. Pinball. The mech keyboard stuff is bigger than the pinball stuff. So
yes, of course, I believe it.
You mean bigger? You mean bigger, like the audience there?
It's a bigger audience.
It's just much more accessible. Like
exactly.
I think you, Jeff, are one of the few people in the country to have more than 1 pinball machine in your home. You know what I mean? Let alone 1 pinball machine in your home.
I didn't tell you guys.
You get another one?
I am getting another one, but one is leaving.
Which one?
That's right. The Willy Wonka table.
That's what I was going to ask about.
And wait, is it
a golden ticket? And it is getting packed up and leaving tomorrow.
Can I have it? Will you ship it to me?
That is not what the manufacturer is supposed to do. I think they're actually going to sell it because of the amazing immaculate care I took of it.
Except the left headphone jack doesn't work, and he's just going to slap a shipping label right on the machine. Oh.
That's weird, right?
Yes.
I am getting a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, and from Stern, and I'm going to be I can finally say I'm definitely getting it.
Who are
going to be
you?
Streaming that. It's gonna. What do you mean? Who am I?
Who are
I'm a guy
you?
who fucking loves pinball, hockey. And outside of like those core things, now it's like mechanical keyboards and just like, I don't know.
Who are you even anymore? I don't even know you. I remember you used to be real about the pinball. You used to be in there with a soldering iron. You used to be in there with a soldering iron and a crucifix, making those pinball tables work. Now you're just getting new ones.
It was a year ago when I got that Funhouse game through a fan of the site, Lee, who hooked it up with that.
Yep.
With that.
Started humble beginnings.
Started on my crusade towards burning myself with a soldering iron. So,
what you rocking? What's your soldering rig? What do you got? Who's
it's
your
just
poison?
a bunch of like Amazon, whatever's highly rated and available in the next 12 hours. It's nothing crazy, but I did.
Is it a station or like one of those pencils? Like does it have a thermostat that you can change the temperature on it?
No, it's just hot or off, and but it's rechargeable and wireless. So,
what?
Yeah. So it's real, like, especially for the pinball stuff, because pinball, you have the play field angled up and you got to be, like this contortionist kind of getting the right angle on it. But for the keyboard stuff, the wire would have been fine, but it'll be a nice little
wow. I didn't even know they made wireless solder.
Yeah, but I got a little bougie with like some of the accessories. I needed like the cleaning pads, and once I understood like exactly what I'm doing and what I need to be doing, I sort of decked out and
get the metal, the little gold metal spongy thing, the Hako.
Yeah, that
Hako?
thing.
Hako.
I don't know what it's called. That little Brillo pad thing. That's a lifesaver.
That's
for
good.
sure.
That's good.
And the gel too. Like it's like this weird sort of like, I don't know, soldering like pomade.
I don't use the gel.
Dip it in.
I don't do that.
It cleans it off a little bit. You dip it in the little thing. You're ready to go. But I'm very excited to embark on the keyboard building stuff. If you guys, we could love to figure out a way to stream that. That'd be so dope.
Well, you stream your pinball. Sure. I assume you can stream this. This will be easy.
You can stream fucking anything, man.
Yeah.
Oh no, I know. The logistics of it seem to be pretty easy compared to pinball. So, yeah, that's what they say. If you can stream pinball, you can stream anything. So
that's what they say. Yeah, that's what Ninja said. I think that's what Ninja said.
That's actually the first line in his book.
Yeah, if you can stream pinball, you can stream anything.
Jeff, I have to know if you're joking. Is there a Ninja book? Did he write one?
He did write one.
Oh,
I got sent it too.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Wait, Ninja wrote a book?
Ninja.
Of course.
Wait.
I think it's
Fortnite
I think
Ninja?
it's I think Fortnite Ninja wrote the book and it was like, hey, how to be a successful streamer, right? Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. Why not?
They just open it up and it says only play games with your wife.
Yeah, it's a big picture.
Microsoft to give you a shit ton of money, exist on their service for 6 months, and then go somewhere else.
It's just it's Drake.
Like
it's Drake's phone number. The first page is Drake's phone number, and it says, "I'll call him, see if he'll stream with you."
I think I left it on like the giveaway table, and I'm not sure anybody ever took it.
It's still there.
Yeah, I think that giveaway table's still there.
Yeah.
It's just Eugene sitting in a chair reading about Ninja.
I bet all of our desks became the giveaway table, and people have just been like picking fun shit off of them. I want to get my Sandra Bullock back.
I want to get everything on my desk back as soon as possible.
At some point, I feel like they're just they're stalling about talking about New York because the office is like wiped out. They threw everything in the trash, and it's just
construction people accidentally like tore it all down and just made it all bathrooms.
They were like, wait. Did you say 10th floor? Because I think you said 9th floor. And like they just that 10th floor. It just goes from 9 to 11 right now. Do not let them back in. There's this. The ceilings are a lot bigger on this 9th floor than I remember. Yeah. We had to get rid of all that crap. There was a Sandra Bullock up there, and all that garbage just had to go into a dumpster. There was a
CBS
vat
blankie.
of macaroni and cheese dust. Who keeps that at a desk? All right. Anybody else have any games they want to get to?
Not right now.
Sims is coming out with a new expansion, but maybe that's new.
Santa or The Sims?
The Sims.
Oh, The Sims. I think you said Santa.
Just like Santa.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What did they know? Do we know what it is?
What is it called? It's called like Mountain something Sims expansion packs. It's called Snowy Escape. And it seems like expansion pack, this is the biggest one versus the game pack versus the stuff pack, progressively smaller.
Yes.
The biggest one, expansion pack, it seems like you get a whole new world that looks very Japanese inspired. It has like a mountainside that you can like ski and do shit off of. And it also has like hot springs and like hot baths and spa stuff. And it seems like you have like Japanese inspired aesthetics as far as like, it seems like they even have like tatami mat type things with like the different layer like levels on the floors, which they added in an update where you could like actually adjust. Because before it was just like every floor level is going to be the same level, but now you could have like this one is like deck level and this one is ground level. It's a little bit complicated, but you know what I mean?
Sure.
And it seemed like they had some of that in the trailer, which I'm not sure is like more stuff included with that, or if that is just the same kind of update they already included. Anyway, I'm eager to see it. Seems fun. I like the aesthetics of it just from the trailer.
It's a lot for this Sims. It's packed in there. You can spend a lot of money on all that stuff. This one seems like it's going.
Yeah. Well, yes. I mean, I feel like, yeah, Sims 4 has been going for a long time. I'm surprised. I thought that Sims 5 was going to get announced somewhat soon. I mean, this game has been out for like 6 years. Yeah, I mean, people always argue like it's too much money for all these expansion packs, but I don't think they intend for you to buy all of them, especially not right at once. Like, I think most people who have all the packs have been playing since like day one and have been buying them over years and years. When you think about like games like WoW or whatever that have like a $10 a month subscription, I think it's probably pretty comparable.
Yeah, I always say, not always, but in the last today, I say, pay what you pay. If you enjoy that game, pay what you want to pay. You know, if you're just playing The Sims, that's probably saving money. You're probably saving money.
I also think if it wasn't my job, like when I was playing The Sims before, I was doing it for work. I didn't have that many expansion packs, and I still really enjoyed it. I would buy them here and there when it was like, this one interests me. I'll get that one. Or like, oh, it's on sale, sure. And now I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I'll just get them all. I gotta do it for work anyway, so it's a nice excuse, right?
Snowy is the dog, Tintin's dog, right? Is that right? Yep.
I should know.
I believe so. Yeah. No,
I have a Tintin poster.
Yeah,
people love this Tintin poster, and in all honesty, I got it because I thought it looked nice and I like space stuff. I really have read very little Tintin.
Tintin has great cover art.
Tintin.
Yes, exactly. I was like, I like the aesthetics of this. It's in French, but people go nuts for this Tintin poster. I didn't know Tintin was so beloved.
People love Tintin. Tintin is especially in Europe. You know what? Actually, that CG Tintin movie they made like 10 years ago wasn't bad. I liked it.
I think I've heard that. We were a Archie Comics family growing up. We'd get them at like the grocery store. That's what we would read.
Oh, Archie. All right. Take a break. You know, I realize I have this thing in my hand. It's on my desk. You can't see it if you're listening to the audio version. It's a spudger, but I think people think, and I futz with it, and it's because it's on my desk. I think people think it's a vape pen.
I thought it was just a like a writing pen.
I don't know what a vape pen is. A pen?
Because you put it in your mouth? I thought you were just suckling on just like a ink pen.
Yep, nope, just suck on this little thing here. No, you put the wrong end of a pen.
I don't think you should be allowed to use the word spudger without actually saying what the fuck a spudger is.
So suckle on my spudger. I use it. It's just a little plastic device that I use to get the real hard parts of my Masterpiece Transformers when I'm open them up so I don't break them when I transform them. That's where Masterpiece Transformers and third-party Masterpiece Transformers are at these days. You got to use a tool to transform them because some of the little panels. You got to break it. You're gonna use. What are you gonna use? What are you gonna use your fingernail to get in there? Pop something open?
No way. I want a spudger that spends most of its time in my mouth.
Yep, right here. And when it hits my concrete floor, I get real bummed. that floor nothing should go back in your mouth.
And a week later, you forget. Right back in there.
Most of the stuff that
hits tell me you're at least boiling that thing before you put it back in your mouth.
Usually anything that hits that floor gets thrown right in the trash, just swept up, and it's for the spiders to take away. They own it now. They can take it. There's a cricket down here.
Oh my god! I just remembered a dream I had last night where I popped a thing on my arm and a spider came out of it.
And with that,
wow, we all need to take a break. Yeah, let me get the music up. Were you freaked out in your dream at least?
Yes, and it like kept happening.
Oh, stop popping the things. You need to go see a doctor.
But I didn't want him inside.
That's true. That's rough. We should go. Here's the music. Okay, I'm gonna play the music. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be back with some news, and hopefully it doesn't involve spiders. Stay tuned. Okay, we are back. If you're watching this live, sorry for the extended break there. It's
Jeff Aguilar disappeared into the ether.
I got a little lost.
Jeff's a busy, important man, and I don't judge him for that.
No, he's soldering to do.
I admire him for it.
It's good. Accept
Normally,
packages
the
of
magic
pinball
of-
machines.
Yeah, I just packed up 2 machines just now. That's what the holdup was.
Or like, should we start without Jeff? And he's just screaming outside, just the ghost, the clown. Should we start without him?
He's after me.
Send help. Should we
Give
stream
him
that?
what he wants. No, thanks for waiting. You didn't have
Yeah.
to wait. I was just having a little brush with the healthcare system, which
You're a quarter
was a
of the
lot of
show,
fun.
man. We need you.
We
Yeah,
want to
that
wait
means a
for
lot.
you, Jeff.
that means a lot.
We
Abby,
like
thank you for changing your
you.
wardrobe in my
Yeah.
honor. I appreciate
You
it.
hated the sweater, and I knew that's why you weren't coming back. Honestly, everybody, the big delay was because we were in negotiations. My lawyers and Jeff's lawyers were like, he's only
Yeah.
going to come back if you take off the sweater. And I'm like, I'm getting paid a lot of money to
Yeah,
wear this
put your
sweater.
foot
So Jeff's
down.
going to pay me that money out of pocket, so I don't have to worry about it.
In
Thank you,
keyboards, you will
Jeff.
be paid in keyboards.
So while you were on hold, did you have to play a video game on Twitch with your doctor to kind of raise awareness for healthcare and stuff like that? Just join your doctor in an Among Us session.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying let's get to the news.
He's pivoting. That's what he's doing.
Alex Navarro, we had the politics and gaming has crossed once again. Not
Yes.
for the first time. Definitely not the last time. What has happened now?
The future of politics is here, friends.
Oh,
and it's
boy.
streaming.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
What?
So this past, I think it was just a couple days ago, AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who, for all disclosures purposes, is my congresswoman, who I vote for.
But
So,
like
just putting that out there.
actually, your congresswoman.
Yes,
Yes.
literally my congresswoman.
Yeah. So you can call
anyway,
her that.
so-
You can call her AOC.
No, I voted for her. So yes. But anyway, so she organized, or her people organized the stream where she, I believe Ilhan Omar also got involved, as well as a number of notable streamers, including Pokimane and Dr. Lupo, got on there and played some Among Us with her. To the peak, I believe concurrent viewers was around 435,000 people.
Is that a lot?
Jesus.
Is that a lot for a Twitch stream?
The overall record, I believe, is, speaking of Ninja, with 635,000 for the one he did
Wow.
with Drake.
Okay.
Damn.
And keep in mind that's concurrent. Like the actual number of uniques, I don't know what that actually is,
Oh,
but it
I'm
was
sure
probably
that's
quite a few.
way higher. Yeah.
Yeah. But so, this is an interesting thing because, very few things in America feel older and more decrepit than our political institutions, if we're being completely honest here. And, there's maybe one thing I want to caution about this is that I've seen a lot of takes that be like, oh, this is like the future of, getting people involved in the vote and politics and all that. And it's like, well, okay, no, because like it's not the first time that a pop culture institution of some kind has intermingled with politics. Like if you grew up when I did, you remember MTV's Rock the Vote. Like, you remember this kind of stuff where institutions that are ostensibly aimed at the youth bring in politicians to get them to try and vote.
Yeah. I
And-
don't see Mudhoney streaming. Huh? Where's that at?
What's that?
That's not the band I would have gone with, but I respect that you
Dude.
did.
I feel like Mudhoney is like very much a rock the vote. No.
That era, certainly.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Mud honey.
But so here's the
Delicious.
thing. This is
Yeah.
still a cool thing no matter what. Like it's nice
Sure.
to see people who are in government actually trying to use platforms and trying to
Well-
use methods that are not just, the kind of same tired methods that a lot of political institutions rely on.
It did not
Did
feel.
y'all-
I watched some of it. I watched the beginning of it. And
Yeah, me
I
too.
watched, and I thought it was fun. I almost didn't make it because of all the like tech. Like my producer bones were starting to crack inside my body as the like, can you hear me? Your voice is too loud. My voice is too loud. I'm trying to fix it. Hold on. Okay.
That's the
turn-
real
Say
streaming
Twitch
experience.
Oh
That's
yeah,
how you know
no,
it's real.
too fucking real. Where I was just like, oh, I can't with this. Like, wait, am I too loud? You turn yours down. Oh, they left the game. Get back in the game. It's like, oh, everything about me is tingling right now. I don't know. But then, it didn't feel forced. It felt fun. It felt kind of natural. Like it didn't feel as opportunistic as it might look on paper. It didn't feel
I also
like that.
It didn't feel out of touch, which I think is always the fear with this kind of thing
Yeah.
of like politician plays video games, and it wasn't embarrassing. Like what I
Right.
watched was very wholesome and very sweet. It was like AOC was like accusing Ilhan Omar of like being the killer, and she was like, no, the killer is going through vents, and I don't think you guys know how to do that. Which it was very sweet and very funny. But it just seemed like a nice kind of wholesome thing. You know, is she going to keep streaming? I assume.
I think
Yeah,
they might
she's
do more things like this. Yeah,
she's quitting
Yeah.
Congress.
I also
and
just
gonna
think
be
like a good
full-time.
opportunity for her because there are so many like cool activist streamers, you know, and cool like charity streamers that I feel like she can work with, and this just seems like a cool opportunity for that.
Yeah,
there's lots of different angles they can take.
Yeah.
I can't wait for everybody to get in on this and fucking Mitch McConnell to get out there, start doing some Spelunky streams, and get in there with Lindsey Graham and really do some co-op Phasmophobia. I think it's going to be a really good time, and can't wait to tune in to all these really hip streamers getting out there.
Vinny, I know it's the horror season, but why would you conjure those images for anyone ever?
Lindsay, you got to bring. I'll bring the smudge stick, and that's my bitch.
The key to doing a good Mitch McConnell is you have to put your lips completely under your teeth and barely open your mouth. Anyway, Mitch McConnell sucks. Anyway,
did you bring a tripod? I'm getting hunted here. I'm getting hunted.
But they're so relatable, aren't they?
Yes.
Oh, very much so. In that, yes, we are all dying. Anyway,
I watched it. I thought it was fun to watch. I didn't watch the whole thing. I think it was.
Yeah, me either.
AOC. I think that thing that I was like watched that impressed me the most was like she like picked it up and got it. Like got it and like had fun with it, and it wasn't a constant like like clever. There's an innate cleverness there that is like good.
Yeah.
This is great. This is smart human beings. So tell me about the rigs.
Yeah, we need to talk about the rig here because Ilhan Omar in particular posted her gaming rig, and it seemed like it was a real piece of work. Jeff, do you want to break this one down for us?
Yeah, I mean, she posted the specs of this thing, and like this is like a $3,000 piece. I mean, of course, I feel like maybe that is easy to come by, perhaps, but it had it's got an i7 700K processor in there, and I mean, say what you will about the GPU, but I feel like still, if you're rocking an RTX 2060 Super, you're going to be fine, especially for
that's very
for
solid.
Pretty sure that's going to run Among Us. 32 gigs of RAM, and I had never heard a 6 terabyte SSD. I didn't even know they make 6 terabyte SSDs, dude.
I think they're like
apparently they do. I didn't know that.
I shred 6 terabyte SSDs for lunch when I'm in the White House.
Yeah. Then that case, though, everyone knows that case, that NZXT.
It's got like the little window.
H510.
It's glowy on the inside. It looks like a gamer computer
for sure. And it's got that like the Corsair water cooled CPU cooler. It's all right.
It's got the business.
Anyone would be quite happy with that.
That is the I want to see her PC parts picker page and see what she's looking at next. I wonder if she's getting in on this 37.
The upgrade going to be
32 gigs of RAM enough to run Among Us?
I don't know. That's a lot of RAM.
That's just such a funny joke though. Like with a lot of things where like people, it just reminds me of like. People ask me like, "Oh, what computer should I buy?" I'm like, "Well, Jeremy, do you want a $4,000 Facebook machine? Because you can buy a $4,000 Facebook machine. I can show you where to buy that."
So was this Ilhan Omar's actual computer, or is this a computer that was sponsored by her, or is it like one of her friends?
There wasn't
or
a lot
family?
of details.
Okay.
It's a pic of her playing, and it's very sweet. She's like smiling and playing, and then she's like, "Here are the specs."
She's like, games, so it could just be her rig. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
it very well could be. I would even lean perhaps more on the side of that, if anything, because you got mismatch case and the cooler.
Yeah.
If we really want to deep dive, where like Corsair.
If it were like a sponsored thing, it would all be same brand.
I think you could maybe read a little into that, but pretty badass nevertheless.
It's a big tent PC. All the different brands are allowed to come in here and be a part of this platform.
Any part, as long as you're not as long as you're being PC, right? You like that joke, huh? No,
That's it. I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done. I regret ever bringing any of this up.
Okay.
I think we're just gonna fire you for that.
Was that just right? It was just right in the open.
I just
No,
wasn't listening.
We're
which
gonna
seemed like
vote
the
him
right
out.
move.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you very much. What else?
Caravella, you're fired.
Okay. Ejected out of the airlock. But it wasn't me.
Yes.
I think I don't want to spoil things here, but was AOC the first killer in the was and like
she was the very first.
Very
she
first?
specifically said, "I do not want to be the first betrayer," but then she was the first betrayer.
That's so funny.
and then
love
I
that.
think nobody on the stream was like, well, we can't eject AOC out of the airlock like the first. The first.
That's so funny.
And that is the problem with a democracy. Nobody wants to be the one to eject people out of an airlock if they're in power. We got to hold people accountable. Alex, what else is going on?
A few things, nothing too overly exciting compared to that, but a couple of news updates here and there. Darkest Dungeon 2. Remember that game? They're making it.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're making it, and it's coming out on early access, I believe, early next year in the Epic Game Store. Darkest Dungeon 1 was also in early access for, I'm going to say, 18 months to 2 years, something like that, before it went 1.0. And that was one of the only early access experiences that I played like pretty much the entire way from when it started up to when it got to 1.0. And it was a good one. Like they kept good updates for that game. They rebalanced it a bunch of times. They did a lot of work on it. And Darkest Dungeon 2 falls off a fucking cliff in the end game. It is impossible end game that I eventually gave up on, but I got dozens and dozens of hours out of that game. I had a ton of fun with it, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with it.
I'll tell you what they're going to do with it, Alex, in case you didn't see, just because you might be interested in this, or anybody listening. There is a Darkest Dungeon board game that is now, I think, currently in Kickstarter. Yeah, 14 days to go if you're interested in checking that out. I could see it. You could see it? I could see it. I mean, I'm looking at it right now, but I saw
a pinball board game coming out too from like Whiz Kids or something like that.
What? Pinball board game.
See, now I can't see it. I can't.
See that?
No.
I'm having more trouble seeing that.
You flip a card, the ball's it's over there now.
Tell me more about flipping the balls.
Flipping a card? No.
No.
I don't think everything needs to be a board game. That's my hot take.
Everything is a board game. Every video game is a board game. I spent way too much on that Bloodborne Kickstarter for that Bloodborne game, and
was it called Bloodboard?
Wow. And you kicked me out of the airlock.
I
Well, I hope you guys are happy.
Got fired.
I hope you guys are happy.
Ooh, amazing.
And then there was like sometimes with the Kickstarters and the board games and then the shipping. And then the
what have you.
And the Simon. Yeah. Come on, Simon. Come on. Yeah. Darkest Dungeon in video game and physical form. Alex, what else is going
on? Let's see here. So if you've been following along with that there Marvel's Avengers, and you've been continuing to play that game, you're going to have to wait a little longer to get some of the content that you've been perhaps waiting for. So they did just do an update of that game recently, but a bunch of the stuff that they were planning, including a new character and the next gen updates for the game, have been delayed, I believe, into sounds like early next year.
Okay.
And Avengers, up to this point, I think has had some problems retaining a player base. It seems like there have not necessarily been a ton of people online at any given moment playing it. I'm not playing it at all, so I'm going purely off anecdotal statements here, but it seems like the numbers have not been the best. And I don't know that this necessarily means anything for that game's long term, but it doesn't inspire confidence necessarily.
I haven't touched it. But I'm still curious about it. I'm still Avengers curious. And I think, I don't know. I don't know what's stopping me exactly. It's the price. I think paying for the video game is the price. Because I want it to be good, and I've heard people have had fun with it. But I just haven't.
I heard like once you get to the point where like you've kind of leveled the characters up, it becomes a lot more fun.
Yeah.
And like the campaign is like solid. It just hasn't been enough to necessarily make me want to jump in. I don't know.
Maybe that's one I'll pick up on the next gen
before Game of the Year.
Well, yeah.
Well, I guess you'll have to wait for next year then, because it sounds like those updates aren't coming just yet.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Well, you will be able to play that game. By the way, you will be able to play Avengers on, I think, Series X and PS5 normal. Like
Right.
it just won't have like the full next gen upgrade patch until later.
That's another reason why we're talking internally. When do we do Game of the Year? We do it outside of this whole mess, or we do it in January? A little behind the scenes there, folks. That's what we're talking about. That's
the question.
It's
not for me.
It's a fairly busy.
That's it. Abby, if you still want to write a guest list, just let me know.
Allie, you're
Okay.
Abby, you're telling me you just don't. No,
absolutely not.
They're all
Wow, sure, I'll do it pro bono for charity work.
Everyone kind of does.
You just record like 40 minutes of yelling about games for a while, and we'll play it once in a while. Just hit the button.
Okay, I gotta give the fans something to get rabid over.
Mm-hmm. Just what would you scream out? What can we hit the button on during a Game of the Year, a hot debate?
I don't even want to joke about it. It's like not fun. And everything I'm thinking of just makes me sad.
Abby just ejected herself out of the airlock, and now it's just Bacalar.
And then my head just exploded.
Alex, what else?
Well, speaking of ejecting things out in airlock, folks, this is the biggest news story of the week by far. Remember the little kerfuffle around the Minecraft Steve getting added to Smash Brothers?
No, not until I was looking over this document and then realized this was a thing and then not a thing. That's how my cycle goes.
Vinny, here's the thing. You're not terminally online, and that's a good thing.
Okay.
You should continue to live like that and not the way I live, which is bad.
Okay.
Anyway, so living the bad life that I do, I knew about this. So there was a brief thing where when you would play as Minecraft Steve in Smash Brothers,
which I did that part.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right.
And you saw the part where he would take a bite out of the big hunk of meat, and he would just kind of do his action pose at the end when you win.
Yeah, he's got a meat schlong. He's just holding it where
Yeah, he holds it where his dick would be.
Yeah,
so
it's his meat.
That has been patched out.
Oh.
Minecraft Steve's meat is no longer present.
A big baguette.
Now he just holds his dick.
Yeah. He doesn't hold anything, and they seem to have cropped the camera so that it's very clear he is wearing pants still. The main thing I wanted to bring up was something that I saw today, which is that Stephen Totilo of Kotaku was apparently talking to Phil Spencer this past week and decided to mention this, given that Minecraft is a fine Microsoft property these days, and showed him the photo. And I just want to quote this real quick from the thing he tweeted. So he shows the photo to Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer, long pause. Yeah, who did that?
That's awesome.
And he had to explain to him that was not Photoshop. That's how it looked. And then Spencer's final response is, I assume that will be fixed.
It was.
They did fix it. So
there's a lot of Steve. Steve just Minecraft Steve.
Too much Steve. One might say.
Steve, Minecraft Steve out there tubing day one. Just thought he was. Listen, I thought it was muted. I thought after the victory thing was done, I thought we were breaking out into small sessions, and I thought we were done. Thought that the camera would just cut. That Minecraft Steve digs. He mines, and then you can build like better swords and stuff. It's okay. I don't Smash Brothers wise. I don't. He's not my favorite character. He rides the minecart. He can play as an Enderman. Some other skins on it too. I didn't play too much with old.
Yeah, but Minecraft Steve, that's the one. That's the money shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Holding the beef.
I know what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Add more stuff to that game.
Look, man, I need to laugh at something. I gotta laugh at something, and that's what I'm laughing at.
And then the fact that people had to do you think anybody fought back at being
it's fine. What are you talking about?
You're censoring me. Is that the end of this news?
No,
it's for me.
Okay, Bacalar.
So I wanted to once again bring up some pinball news, if I very could, please.
Okay. Yes.
I'm sure you're all familiar with the pinball collection game platform known as Pinball FX the Third.
I am familiar with it. Yes.
Well, I'm not really because I haven't played it that much, but I was told earlier this week that Funhouse is in the latest DLC.
Oh no.
Pack, the haunted free version, ladies and gentlemen.
Folks,
so
everybody has to know it's a Horcrux for Jeff's machines. Don't you gotta destroy it.
Sacrifice whatsoever required. You can go ahead.
It's spreading.
Play.
Don't if you put it on your device, Jeff's machine will haunt your house.
Can I funny story about haunting your mobile device? But check it out. Funhouse, Dr. Dude, and Space Station are in the latest volume 6. I would even look a little further back into some of their previous DLC packs for some really awesome shit. Like last year they did the Monsters pack that had Creature from the Black Lagoon and Monster Bash.
Okay.
The latter of which I believe to be one of the all-time classics.
Monster Bash.
You know, I haven't really played a lot of virtual pinball aside from the I think it was a maybe VX2 or whatever the one that Walking Dead game was on. Not the Stern Walking Dead. This was a bespoke virtual pinball creation. Anyway, go check it out. If you've seen me play it and you're like, oh, wouldn't it be fun to lose at that very difficult pinball game? Yeah, now you can do it.
Are your clown's eyes working well now?
No. Oh no. Vinny, those will never work. The back of the ocular cavity more than you do the front pupil part.
How you are so good for you. I am too much of an idiot too superstitious to have like that stuff in my house. Just to be clear, just to clear the air, the demon shit's a joke. The haunted pinball's a joke.
That sounds like someone haunted by a demon would say.
That's hey Jeff, do you remember? Oh no, you probably don't. Alex, I'll say this. Alex, you remember the end of Mass Effect 3 where he's like, "I'm fine, I'm fine."
Weirdly, no, I don't.
I'm not indoctrinated. You're indoctrinated. I'm fine.
Yeah.
I can stop it. Sounds like Jeff's gonna come back. He's gonna have like a little bit of clown makeup on his face, just a little bit. So you're like, "What? This is what I do."
Red nose, the whole thing. Yep.
Just what I'm doing.
Again, look, I love joking about the undead and all that stuff as much as the next person. So let's keep the gag going. I'm happy to do it. But nevertheless, it is all a fabrication, all in good fun, I might add. But there you go. Pinball FX3. I haven't really played it, so I can't necessarily endorse it one way or the other, but maybe I'll check it out.
Speaking of things coming back from the dead, did you see Animaniacs is coming back to?
I heard
with
Hulu.
What a weird licensing trip that is. The Animaniacs are basically things that escaped from the Warner Brothers cartoon
Water Tower.
Yeah, in canon, and now Warner Brothers with their streaming service. These deals are weird, I guess.
Do you want the real head fuck of this whole thing?
Sure.
Okay.
It's not just that the
My head's a
Animaniacs are coming
virgin,
back.
so.
It's that it's coming back at a time where now the things they will be referencing is the pop culture we grew up on while Animaniacs was on.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Can you
because
say that show's
whole thing show's whole thing was referencing pop culture from like 20 years prior to its existence, because that's what cartoon writers were doing back then.
Right.
Now it's coming out in 2020 and it will be referencing the pop culture that was coming out when Animaniacs was a show.
So all the people who watched Animaniacs
Is that show really referential?
Oh,
extremely.
Yeah, that's.
I don't remember it.
Yeah.
I was pretty little when I watched. I didn't watch a ton of it.
It was basically like a Doonesbury comic. It was like
an endless series of old Hollywood parodies and other things like that.
So you're telling me?
I'm telling you,
it's basically just like Animaniacs never went off the air, like in that time capsule.
Well, no, I think what you're saying is all the people who grew up watching Animaniacs that are now writing for Animaniacs and doing that show are referencing the things from their childhood
that they grew up with, which includes Animaniacs.
Right. So it's Animaniacs all the way down. I hope there's a Tiny Toons reference in there somewhere.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I do have fond memories of that show.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I watched some of it recently. Most of it holds up.
I guess I'll check it out. Sure.
Abby, any Animaniacs nostalgia or love?
No, I was much more of a Nickelodeon kid versus a Cartoon Network kid. I would watch the occasional stuff. I think Animaniacs I would watch occasionally, but I have no real memory of it. I feel like I watched more like Pinky and the Brain.
That's Animaniacs.
But we were like a Nickelodeon household.
Yeah, those are very much adjacent. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Picking the Brain was nested in Animaniacs, right?
Yes,
Thought
it was.
like a
Wasn't it? It was a
spin-off type of
spin-off, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They may have done a spin-off too, but like it was also in a whole bunch of the regular Animaniacs episodes.
What other cartoons did you grow up with?
Cartoons. SpongeBob was a huge one. I loved like Rugrats. Rocket
Nice.
Power was the best.
Well, I don't know that one.
I mean, we watch a lot of like live action Nickelodeon stuff, like all their game shows, like Double Dare,
Sure.
Guts, all that jazz.
Let's go to Mo.
What else do we watch? Lizzie McGuire, classic, love it.
See, it's weird how like
that's the one that's past where I'm at.
Yeah.
Invader Zim.
No, but again, I
Fairly-
didn't watch a lot of Comedy Network or Cartoon Network.
Well,
Oh,
no,
is that-
Invader Zim, it was Nickelodeon.
I thought that was Nickelodeon.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
just
well-
naming shows that were like I shouldn't have, like that were like beyond me a little bit.
That was
Yeah.
for
I
like
feel
the
like-
goth kids. We weren't the Hot Topic kids.
I feel like it's not just the top 3, but the first 3 that come to mind when I think of like Nickelodeon is You Can't Do That on Television.
Oh, sure.
Oh, people are also saying Doug in the chat, which yes,
Sure.
a lot of,
Oh, yeah,
Doug, a
Doug.
lot of Ren and Stimpy, a lot of Arrow Monsters. Love that.
See, it's weird. Yeah, like there's a very fine line, like almost overnight, where I guess I just stopped watching
They
Nickelodeon.
changed the channel.
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
love that one. I was a little
And-
too scared for it, but yeah, I love that one.
And Salute Your Shorts.
Okay.
Yep.
No, didn't watch that one.
Pete and Pete.
Pete and Pete, sure.
I
My buddy
was
went to
too
college
young.
with
My
little
sister
Pete.
watched it a little more, but really,
Okay.
Yeah.
that's fun.
See, I'm like today's special. I'm like pre
Yep.
the fun
Today's
stuff.
Vinny's
Yeah.
like Brady Bunch. Whenever they
Yeah,
are.
I was
There's-
just marionettes on strings with no
Three's
voices.
Company.
There's
Punch and
three.
Judy.
The camera obscura that
Yeah.
you look through to watch
just a
like,
train,
puppets move.
just a train coming towards you, and then it's 30 seconds. It's really
There's 3 generations of Nickelodeon viewers. There's the people that remember when it first started and all they were doing was stealing British and Canadian
Yeah,
like
Pinwheel.
children's television for their own purposes.
I think I
Yeah.
know that.
That's
part a
you
little
can
bit.
do that on
Yeah.
television. That was a
Yeah.
Canadian show. So
Yeah.
like that's that era. There's the era of people who grew up with mostly the cartoons and the stuff like, the Hey Dudes and
Hey
the,
Dude.
the Pete and Pete's and all that stuff. I think Abby, you were kind of at the beginning of that generation. And then there's
I
the
don't
people
know.
who
Hey,
only
dude.
there's the generation of people who only know it as the Nickelodeon it is now, which is a thing that produces SpongeBob and a lot of like sub Disney Channel like live action shows.
what's
Interesting.
Rugrats? Where does that fall? Is that timeless?
Nickelodeon.
Rugrats. That was me. That was like me. I was like the perfect age for Rugrats. I like grew up on Rugrats. I watched all the
Okay.
movies in theaters. Like
Yeah.
we loved
Okay.
Rugrats. So like
Yeah, that's 90s kid. That's 90s kid
I also-
Nickelodeon.
So if
Really like
so Abby, if I said the name Donnie Jeffcoat, do you know who that is?
Not at all.
Fun.
I watched Nickelodeon when they had the interstitials with the kid, the Inside Out boy, who he would like be on the swing set and he would jump, and then all of the kids would turn inside out. We also really loved. There was like a show that looked like a comic book that we would read. That would have like it was like kind of like a variety show, and I remember one of them was like these two little like it was like a not stop and go. What's it called? What where it's like you take
Stop motion.
pictures- stop motion. Thank you. With like these two action figure guys,
Oh, Robot Chicken.
and then
Yeah.
no, kablam, kablam.
The
Kablam!
Sledgehammer
I actually do
video.
remember
Yeah.
that. Holy shit, I do remember that show.
I watched a lot of Kablam. I also watched a lot of the show where there was this girl. It was like all really weird animation. There was this girl where it was like a photo. It was like this black and white photo for her head, but all her body was like animated in a different way, and she like moved kind of funny. I wish I.
Penny.
Yeah.
Penny.
Penny.
Penny? Penny.
Angela.
Wait, Penny with the penny
Angela.
eyes? Remember she had the penny eyes and then
Yeah,
what was
she
that?
doing?
What
She
was
like a
that?
She was a claymation person.
Yeah, what was that? What mass hallucination are we having? What
Where the fuck
don't
is
know.
Penny from?
It was like,
I'm thinking about Angela Anaconda.
I'm Penny and this is my dog. Like I can't remember.
Pee Wee's Playhouse. People were saying I loved
Pee
Pee
Wee
Wee's
Herman's
Playhouse.
It was Pee Wee's
Oh,
Playhouse.
okay.
Okay.
We used to watch that every morning before school.
Hell yeah.
So we could get the word of the day and go
Oh,
it's
so
more.
good. I'm telling you, you got to put eyeballs on that chair behind you.
I would
doing
love
it,
to.
doing it
Send
a
me some
disservice.
eyeballs.
Ba-ba-dum-ba-dum. Where was Rocco's Modern Life? Is that Nickelodeon or that was Cartoon
Yeah,
Network?
that's Nickelodeon.
That's like slightly after Doug and Rugrats came out.
Yes.
Like that's
I
when that
love
launched.
Rocco's Modern Life.
And
and they rebooted it recently, but I hadn't heard anything about it.
So they did a one-off TV like movie for Netflix, and surprisingly, pretty good.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where
It was mostly about fandom and people's weird possessiveness over old properties, which is perfect.
Okay.
Foster's Home for Imaginary Monsters? Do you guys remember maybe that was Cartoon Network? That might have been a Foster's Home. Was a Cartoon Network.
I got nothing for you on that one.
Okay.
I could do this forever. I just want you guys to know.
Yeah,
I could
Dexter's
do this forever.
Dexter's Lab. Is that Cartoon Network?
That
That's
was
Cartoon
Cartoon
Network.
Network. We didn't really watch it. I've seen episodes. It wasn't a big one in my household.
Okay. All right. Let's.
People loved it. It was like that and Ed, Ed and Eddie. Like other kids in school loved it, but we just never got into it.
I love Clarence.
Who's Clarence?
This is like a new show on Cartoon Network.
It's like
funny.
now.
Yeah, it's a now show.
Bluey. Go watch it on the Disney. That's a good one.
That Disney.
Yeah, that Disney. It's a good cartoon.
Oh.
Any other news?
Nope.
Okay. Okay. I watched Rambo in a trailer for MK. And that was
He rips a dude's throat out.
He definitely does. The end of that trailer though is some pretty good yelly face. That was my favorite part. All right, should we take a quick break here?
Yeah, like
Yes,
1 minute.
I mean,
Like
not
a
even
like
that.
a quick one, like a quick
Yeah.
break, and we'll come
quick
back.
Did we just take one?
We
Is
did,
our
but then
second
we.
break or a third?
Yeah,
This is our second.
This is our second
This is
break.
second break. The first one felt long.
We've been on this whole time.
because it was.
All right.
And then we're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll be right back. Hold your horses. Here is the music.
Oh, also Blue's Clues. A lot of Blue's Clues. Anyway.
And we are back, folks, and it is time for emails. If you have an email, please send them to beastcast@giantbomb.com. That is beastcast@giantbomb.com. Now, we can't read all the emails out loud here, but trust me when I say they get shuffled and forwarded around if appropriate to the appropriate people. So thank you for sending them all in. I know a lot of people always feel terrible when I look at the emails, and it's like this really well-written, very nice email that somebody spent a lot of time doing, and then it doesn't get read on the air. Let it be known. It has been read. Abby Russell.
There were a lot of kind emails this week, so thank you, everyone. Yes. Jeff, will you read this one from Jack, please?
Sure. Hey guys, I've felt a strong sense of empathy with Abby over the last few months when she's mentioned dipping back into Animal Crossing and trying to get her last fossil with no luck so far. This was because since June, I've been in the same boat of only needing one more fossil to complete my collection. This past weekend, I've eventually ticked that off my list of things to collect. Unlike Abby, I've remained committed to this quest. There's a little burn there, I feel like.
Good job, Jack.
So for the
Look, sorry, I'm a quitter and I'm trying other productive things with my time. Anyway, carry on.
Oh, man. Okay, good.
Spicy
Jack.
up today.
Spicy.
So for the last 4 months or so, I logged in every single day to get my daily 4 fossils and the occasional bonus one from Nook Miles Islands. Ironically, when I did finally get my final fossil, it turned out I dug it up twice on the same day.
Wow.
Just thought it would be interesting for Abby to know how many days/months it took to finally get that long-awaited fossil of my dreams, and hopefully provide some encouragement that she will be able to do the same in time. On that note, what is the longest you have been willing to play a game just to finally tick off an achievement or accomplishment, either getting a platinum trophy or just a really long quest line in an MMO or RPG?
I will say, having read this email, it does make me want to get back into it. Because at this point, I feel like my game's bugged, but I think it's not bugged. I think it's just patience, and I don't want patience.
Well, it sounds like Jack dug up your fossil as well. Yeah. You're done.
Anyway, my answer's probably Animal Crossing.
Still that one.
Are you gonna go back in?
I don't think I'm gonna go back. It's because like the Halloween stuff is enticing, but even that, I'm like, nah. It's also my thing with Animal Crossing is getting back into it. I have to like face all my villagers who are like, we haven't seen you in months, and like there's like the stuff sprouting up, like all the weeds. Yeah, I have to like do maintenance, and I don't feel like going back in to like fix up my town again. You know what I mean?
I do. I forgot that happens in that game. Boy, I haven't been out of town in a long time. They should dump well, I'm not the mayor. My poor son is a dereliction of duty there. Maybe they should have voted for a different mayor. What do you think, What do you think, animals? Maybe you should have voted for a different mayor, idiots.
They voted for the wet mayor. They voted for the dry mayor.
Yeah, vote dry next time.
No, the moist mayor.
Just tried to split the difference. Everybody's
Anyway.
out of the airlock.
For this.
I mean,
Alex, please tell me.
I was
your grind.
I don't really care about achievements at all. Like it's never been a thing I've ever really gone for, but I will say that one thing that I do maybe do a little too obsessively, even in games where I shouldn't care because they're not that good, is I am an obsessive map clearer. I have to find all the icons on the map at least, and in the instances where it does not feel too overwhelming to actually do all the things on the map, I will do them. I did everything on the map in Ghost of Tsushima. I did everything on the map in Assassin's Creed Origins. I did not do everything on the map in Odyssey because that was the one hill I was like, you know what? I don't need to climb it. But yeah, whenever there is like a giant map and a million icons, I have to see them all. I have to touch them all.
The Origins one is an undertaking. That's congratulations.
I'm not saying I did every single mission, but I touched every single corner of that map.
Okay. I thought you made all the icons go away.
I did like 90 to 95% of them.
Okay, that's
fair.
still too much.
Yes,
I used to have it's the same thing, collectibles, but now once they introduced multiplayer stuff to like that seed in multiplayer into everything else, it made the games not finishable by a human like me who's not very good at multiplayer. So in terms of like checking a platinum off or getting the full 1,000 points on a thing. So that kind of went away, but you know, Assassin's Creed as well. Get all the feathers, collect everything, get all the supplies and all that stuff. I spent a lot of time doing it. I'm trying to think of the one thing.
I know. Looking back, I think maybe the one thing, because I've definitely gone on like I wanted to get all the trophies and all the achievements. Actually, no, I know what it was.
What was it?
When I was playing the original Red Dead Redemption on my Xbox 360, I was trying to get all the achievements, including all of the DLC achievements, because that was at the time where like it would only show up in your like completed achievements list if you did all the DLC ones, and the DLC ones are so long, and I did so much grinding to get those, and it was at a time when it was like a little bit after the game had been out. The game had been out a while, so it was like a lot of online stuff. So me playing in this barren world alone and just doing the same like gang mission over and over and over and over and over and over again, and like trying to get all the posse stuff with like nobody. And I played so much of that game to try to get all the achievements, and I never did.
You never did?
Yeah.
Oh,
I never did. I got a lot of them, but I didn't get all of them because there's a lot where it's like there was also ones where it was like use the Gatling gun to like mow down like 500 people, which is like a weird achievement on paper, but like that one you don't get it naturally in the game, so it's like you got to find all these like Gatling gun missions, and like it takes so long.
That reminded me of the what's the zombie one in the mall? The Dead Rising.
Dead Rising.
Dead Rising was one where mow down all this. You got to take the car into the tunnels and run over all the zombies because you got to get the population of the Willamette. And did you not?
Sorry, when you
want the Mega Buster?
I did it.
When you mentioned that first game, I just remember that game being a sort of mile marker for introducing stuff that I was very like not used to in a game, right? Like what that game did a lot of untraditional things, right? That I feel like up until then I had just not really been super fluent with, right?
Like what
was the weird quirks about it, right?
Well,
like,
I had a timer for those missions, but a lot of people didn't love that stuff.
Wasn't it like weird saving stuff
in
or
the
like
bathroom?
You had to do a lot of shit.
Or save rooms.
But there was other shit. Now,
well, the whole thing was like you had to finish it in whatever like the game clock of like 3 days.
Right, there was that. Yeah. What was that first one, man? What year was that?
That was 06.
Huh.
06, I think. It was Xbox 360 launch year, wasn't it?
You had a camera. You got it was the thing that was kind of interesting. It had like an RPG mechanic in it. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, where you could level up your character to do body slams and elbows and stuff.
I think maybe it was a lot of like
PP,
maybe kind of gated stuff, right? With the PP, right?
I forget what the PP got you. Take your camera.
Anyway.
Yeah. I was hey, listen, I like that Dead Rising game. They had multiple endings, right? They had multiple endings depending on what you did by the time the thing went up.
I just remember playing that game being like, oh, this is a totally different, fork in the road.
It was cool. It was also it was like
it's different.
It was one of the things I think at the time. Maybe I'm picking up what you're putting down here, where you're like, "Wow, any of these things can be used as a weapon." Like you just run around this thing, and like I'm just gonna pick up a golf club, and all these crowd mechanics, and these zombies are just gonna be running around here. I mean, that was pretty wild at the time, or at least I thought so.
I remember the boss battles just being very like oddly, sort of.
Yeah.
I don't know, imbalanced and strange, and
they were definitely strange,
frustrating, and just
kind of making me want to play Dead Rising 1.
Yeah, go for it. If I could do that, I mean, I'm happy to.
Does Dead Rising 1 have crafting, or is that coming later?
It had the weapon.
Weapons
maybe just.
I think it had weapon combining.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's been so long since I played that.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I remember, I also just remember there were like certain outfits that like helped you with certain things. Like I think the ninja stuff just made it so like if you were running around, they just wouldn't attack you. So it's like just wear the ninja shoes all the time. Like it was just like an ease of use thing.
Just remember chugging orange juice and then swinging a 2x4 around. That's trying to find a katana on the awning so they can get that katana every time.
Even like fidelity wise, I remember there was like a really satisfying like smoothness to that game that was probably just like a frame rate related thing, but. I don't know. The game, if I could just answer the question, the game that I always bring up about backtracking or redoing, I never meant to do it, but I wound up playing like the first 20 hours of Red Dead 2 over again because I was playing it on like an insane person. I was just playing it on the 1X because I found it to be perform so much better, and that's really it. Yeah,
that's a lot of Red Dead 2. Did you like Red Dead 2?
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, okay.
Gotta play more of it.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
You gotta go back and get all those achievements in Red Dead 1.
Next,
I might play it again when the next gen comes around because I kind of want to see how it looks.
Play the remastered. Did they ever get the HDR right on the?
Not sure they did.
Okay.
Not sure they did.
I don't think I'm playing. I definitely have played it a good amount on Series X, and I don't think they have.
Okay, Abby, what's the next email?
Okay, Alex, this is a quick one from Edgar.
Sure thing. Edgar says, can we get Alex's thoughts on the new Deftones album? I love that this is my brand now. I enjoyed Ohms, which is the new record, more than Gore, which was their last record. Yes, I would agree with that. I like Ohms a lot. I think it is one of their better, heavier albums. I don't know. I like every Deftones album, so I'm kind of working on a scale here, but I would put it, top half for me.
I like Deftones.
There's a but here. I can just feel it.
I just don't know how like widely accepted this opinion is.
Okay.
I just think I'm not a huge fan of like Chino's voice. I'm just not. And I like the music a lot, but his voice is
it's not for everyone.
And it seems like it should be my shit.
There are lots of bands that I think have good music, and I just don't care for the vocals. Not because the vocalist is a bad one. They don't portray a sound that I like. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's all. I still like that record. That new record's good.
What's the
I think that is like the most moderate take you could have had on that band. It's totally understandable.
What's the Deftones with the ear syringe on the top, the bulb on the cover?
Oh, that's Adrenaline. That's their first record.
That's the one I like. Is that the one with Board on it?
Yes.
Okay.
That's their most new metal record.
Deftones is amazing because I feel like that band found themselves in so many different sort of like cliques when I was in high school and college. Like there were the people who wound up enjoying that band really swung the pendulum of like what you would not think, the cliques of people you just be like, oh really? You're okay, great.
This is really specific, but like a lot of the bands that kind of came out of that Sacramento scene that they came out of were beloved by multiple scenes, like metal kids, punk kids, the emo kids, whatever. Like a lot of those bands kind of had a similar sort of crossover success. It's just that Deftones were by far the most successful of them.
The universal language of Deftones.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah, I didn't keep up with them after that album. Really, they had that "If You Take My Picture" song, right? What's that one?
No, that's Filter.
Oh, that's Filter. You're right. I didn't keep up with it. There, hey man, nice shot. That's the.
What
happened to Filter?
Well, Filter still exists.
What happened?
It still exists. So, two things. One, the guy from Filter used to be in Nine Inch Nails before he started Filter. And
I did not know that.
He was apparently very recently annoyed that he was not among the members of Nine Inch Nails that were inducted into the Hall of Fame. Other thing about that guy, he's actor Robert Patrick's brother.
What?
Huh.
Wait, really?
I didn't know that.
T-1000
Yes.
is brothers with the guy from Filter.
Oh, that's amazing.
Huh.
Okay. All right. Just this is some good trivia. I'm glad. And also is not into Deftones, which is 3 things you did that nobody knew about
It
this
all
guy from
circles
Filter.
around.
Wow. Okay.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah,
Son of
there
a
you go.
bitch.
Tell me about Puddle of Mud. What's the next email?
No.
I will not. I will not.
What's the next email, Abby?
Okay, this is probably the last one. Vinny, do you want to read this one from Scott?
Sure will. Scott says, I recently completed my first 100-mile ultra marathon. Congratulations,
Jesus.
Scott. It took me 27 days. No. Yes, it's a thing, and it's as ridiculous as it sounds. I finished in around 28 hours and 40 minutes. Wait, you keep moving? It was mainly on rough
Maybe
mountain
it's
trails.
combined, Vinny.
I don't.
Imagine for a second you sleep at some point during this. I don't know. Maybe not.
Let's read on. It was mainly on rough mountain trails that required complete concentration to navigate safely. However, there was still a lot of time when I wanted to listen to something as a distraction from the pain or for some company through the long, lonely night. I listened to music when I wanted to pick up the pace, stuff like a Nirvana, Disturbed, and Pop Evil. But my comfort listening is this extreme situation. In this extreme situation, was several episodes of the Bombcast and Beastcast. I want to thank you for helping me complete the hardest thing I've ever done, and to raise the question: what's your favorite comfort listening in difficult times? Do you stick to music, certain genres, podcasts about gaming or hobbies, or just pure entertainment stories? ASMR, comedy. Thanks, Scott.
Before we get into answering this, I
Okay.
think this is all in one shot.
That's amazing. I can't do
Which-
anything for 28 hours.
What about going pee-pee and duty?
For 28 hours straight?
Yeah, you
Oh.
misunderstood. That's a different ultra marathon.
That's a different record.
Okay.
I'm up for the task, but
All right, I see what you're
I'll have
saying.
to
What happens? I see. What happens when you have to go?
I just I don't
I
understand.
think you just take a break and you squat and you do it and then you keep on running.
Well,
Yeah.
clearly you don't
Oh.
keep it in your pants.
I don't know.
I mean-
Like once you're at like average, and once you're at like hour,
You also
once
gotta,
you're at
like,
like
eat
hour
one, too.
6, right? Like, and you like stop to squat, do you just get back up and you're like, my legs are on fire? I got like if you stop
I
moving,
wasn't sure. Like I'm sure squatting down, like your knees
must be
don't like
done.
it.
You know,
Have
Yeah.
y'all ever read The Long Walk by Stephen King? He wrote it as Richard Bachman at the time. One of my favorites.
No, it's a
Anyway, it's
pooping
about
for 24
these
hours.
kids who just like walk nonstop for days.
Oh wow.
But they go into it. Anyway, a little
Oh.
different, but
just the idea of doing this
Yeah.
is just terrifying. I can't even. I don't know.
and
30 minutes on an
and
exercise bike
recently
is like-
completed. So
Yeah.
like this is
I'm googling ultra marathon. How do you poop?
okay.
Right. That's like it should
I-
probably be the autofill there
Do you
Yeah.
poo at aid stations during an ultra?
Nope.
during an ultra.
You
All
know.
I can
28
say is after having done a few hundreds, I never leave the house for even a 10-miler without 2 small sandwich bags. One with wet wipes, one
Okay,
with
we're
pee-pee. For a
done.
second, I
We're
thought it
gonna-
was
we're
just
gonna-
crap in
we're
the
gonna-
bag.
we're
When you
gonna-
gotta, you gotta.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
what-
would imagine you can probably just
This
leave
is
that
West
crap.
25th on Reddit. Typical race strategy, though, is wake up, 14-ounce Starbucks, toasted bagel with avocado, drink water, have a shit, grab gear, go to the start line. 10 hours into 100, though, you've got no clue what your bowels are going to do. So, 2 sandwich bags.
Always take 2
Seatbelts
sandwich
and
bags.
Demolition there.
It's right there in the Hitchhiker's Guide. It's a towel and 2 sandwich bags. So I listen to woodworking podcasts. I listen to.
Yeah.
I'll give a shout out to Wood Talk. They went away and then they came back, and I'm glad they
they're
came back. But like, it's like a comfort thing. I'll listen to old episodes sometimes. You know, sometimes when I'm sitting here and I have to wait for an export to go, and I've burned through all the podcasts I can listen to at this computer, I'll just put on some old episodes and. What are they doing? What's going on? Let's talk about finishes and planing, and stuff never gets old. So that's my answer.
I feel like I ping around on stuff for like comfort listening. Like when I would jog, I like listening to podcasts because it gives me a little more to focus on than just music, so I can like not think about the fact that I'm running. But But I feel like if I want comfort, it depends. If I'm like upset or I'm mad, I like listening to like really grungy shit, you know? Yeah. And I
What does
also
that mean?
like Witch House-esque tough stuff. You know what I mean?
No.
Witch House.
I wish
I'm
I
thinking about
didn't,
like Crystal
but I
Castles.
do.
But I don't want to say Crystal Castles because Crystal Castles, I think the people involved, one of the people is maybe not
The
so
guy,
good.
yeah, not so much.
But it's good music for when it's like I'm upset. I also think I just listen to a lot of like how being in quarantine has changed how I listen to music, because before I would just listen on the subway, so I just have it on shuffle or have like a playlist. Whereas now I'm much more like I'm gonna put on an album and listen to this album and maybe even like listen to it again and again. And that's been nice too. Like it's nice to be like, this is the mood, this is the genre, put on an album. And it's usually just my faves.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's pretty much like if I need to cope with something, I usually put on like the heaviest, loudest music or the slowest, most mournful music I can find, depending on which one I need in that given moment. And that is pretty much what I listen to. I've never really found podcast listening to be all that soothing. Something about people talking is just not in any way relaxing to me. I don't know. But you know, when I need to cope with something, I need the music to either punch me in the face or make me as sad as humanly possible.
What's the heaviest shit you're listening to these days, Alex?
Oh man.
Oh boy. So there's a few things that have come out this year that I have been pretty into. The band Hum put out a new record this year for the first time in 20 years.
Yeah.
That is some really good space rock alternative heavy shit if you're into that. Boris, the Japanese heavy rock band, put out a new album this year called No that I really, really liked a lot. That new Deftones record is very good. There was another one. There was this band. Oh, fuck, was it Cloud Kicker? They also put out a new record this year that is some really good heavy shit. I have a list somewhere. I can look into it. There's another band called Touche Amore that's really good.
Oh,
there's been some good stuff this year. Yeah, they have a new one this year.
Very cool.
What are you listening to, Bacalar?
So, well, I have like certain comfort albums that I listen to. Like, I'll listen to Crack the Sky just because that I think is one of the best albums I've ever heard, front to back. And then
who's that by?
That's Mastodon
Okay.
from like, what was that, 07 or 08 maybe?
Mm-hmm. Around then.
I listened to a lot of Reply All, which is the Gimlet podcast, which I think is exceptionally well done.
I haven't listened to a ton of episodes, but the ones I have, I'm always like, these are so good. They're so listenable too. I really like the one. Yeah, they're really good. Anyway,
which one do you like? Let's.
There was the one they did around like the Black Lives Matters protest that I thought was really good. It's very interesting. It was also, they interviewed a comedian who I know, so it was interesting to hear her side of things. She'd do this thing where she would as a joke be like, hey, white people, Venmo me $5 and I'll forgive you for your whiteness.
Oh, I've listened to that episode. That was
funny. And it was just, it was interesting to hear her talk about it years after she did it.
It's, there's just so well done. And, obviously the informational stuff coming out of that is really great. And it's just weird internet. A lot of the stories they cover is just weird internet, and you go down a rabbit hole. There's one episode where they were trying to unpack and figure out why certain 1-800 numbers were getting these ghost calls that
I think that was the first one I listened to.
Yeah, they weren't anyone on the other line, but it was clearly somebody playing a strange string of noises. And no one understood what the deal was, and they figured it out. They went around and figured out how that happened. So just ghosts. It's really, really fun investigatory weird internet stuff. That's for me the real comfort podcasting stuff. I don't necessarily re-listen to their episodes, but whenever I listen to that, I can make an hour fly by real fast. So
I feel like I don't think there are really any podcasts I'm I want to listen again, but I do really enjoy an edited podcast like that. I really liked, they had Dolly Parton's America was really good. It was by the guy who does Radiolab. I like those short series that's just this is gonna be 6 episodes. Start it and finish it, and that really works for me.
Cool.
I think we have actual radios in the house, so I just turn the radio on.
What?
Yeah.
I cannot
radio
imagine.
Radio works.
Yeah.
I think radio.
It's just on NPR. All of them are just tuned to NPR.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, as long as there's like no commercials and stuff, then because commercials can really kill the mood.
I used to put NPR. I used to go to like the website radio version of it because like I would always listen to it in the car growing up, and then I like lived in the city and never had a car again. I was like, I remember NPR.
They're doing their fundraiser if anybody's
really?
interested.
Gotta get the umbrella.
Yeah, go get your mug.
I'll say this too, because this topic has me thinking a lot about like, I need to watch TV to fall asleep. That's just my thing. And when the quarantine started, we were sort of blowing through everything on the Plex that was like in the 90s. I think we talked a little bit about this when we brought up that Stay Tuned movie, but yeah, like I'm just trying to blow like if I want something, if I need to work on something, and if it's not music or a podcast, I'm just gonna put on like a movie from 1994. Like
so my wife does all the time too. She's
throwing
just
like a Wayne's World or whatever the fuck, and just really be able to melt away in that. So
I will go watch something on like we'll go to sit down. The 2 hours a week we have to sit down and watch something, and I'll be like, "What? You watched this whole thing?" She's like, "No, I just put it on while I was working." Like I don't remember a thing because they'll just say like watched on the like recently watched. Be like, "You watched this? Did you watch this whole?" What was the one that you liked, Jeff? You recommended like the In the Darkness or something. It was like that foreign horror series, The Dark maybe. It's like a foreign.
Dark. Well,
Dark.
That show I wouldn't just put that on for background noise.
So she just we watched one episode. Then I came back like the next week. I was like, you watched the whole season? And she's like, no, I just put it on the background. I have no idea what's going on in it. So she just puts it on for like background noise.
I do that when I work too.
You gotta watch Dark. Just do it. Just watch that Dark.
I watched a bunch of it. I liked it. I had to. Somebody's missing. They gotta go find them.
They gotta go find this cave boy.
They gotta find this person in a cave. I don't know why. All right. I think that's going to do it for this week's show. Thanks, everybody, for writing in. Feels like a long podcast today.
It's hot in here.
It is. Was it warm? Is that what it is? It just feels warm and hot. I should probably take this fabulous Giant Bomb hoodie off. Thanks, everybody. Thank you for writing in. Thanks for joining us. If you're watching this live, thanks for listening. If you are not, if you want to watch it live, we try to do these around 1:30 on a Thursday. You can catch it there, or just go to giantbomb.com or check it out in your podcast app or whatever. I don't know. Tells your smart speaker to play the Giant Beastcast. Do you think that works? I've never tried it. I don't have smart speakers. Did anybody there have a smart speaker they could yell, play the Giant Beastcast into? Does it work?
I'm sure.
Alexa,
how do we not have that?
Play the Giant Beastcast. Alexa, order 50 diapers.
No, stop. Actually, that does bad things for people. No, stop. All right, I'm going to play the music and we're going to get out of here. Happy birthday if it's your birthday. Where is it? This one? Yeah. Tomorrow we're gonna try and do instead of a premium show, we're gonna do a live quick look for Jackbox, the new Jackbox. I played some of that.
Yeah,
I actually didn't talk about it today, but I went in to test some games. And Backlash, if you want to join us, you can tune in tomorrow. You're very busy. We'll try and get you in. We need people.
Oh yeah, tell me I'm busy.
Okay, you're not busy.
Okay, good. Let's
Great. Backlash will be there, and if he's not there, you can hit him on Twitter and say, why weren't you there? Why'd you promised you'd be there? Now you're not there anymore. Go check out Quick Looks going up on the site. We've got At Least Age Vampires. We're going to have G.I. Joe going up. I got to process that in a little bit. Breaking Brad yesterday. Go check that out. We finished Mass Effect. Go watch the last one of those. That was like 2 weeks ago. What else have we got going on? Are you guys clue crewing?
I believe so.
Okay, I like that answer. The confidence is good. Thanks, everybody, for listening. This has been the Giant Beastcast. Thank you, Jeff Backlash, Abby Russell, Alex Navarro. We will be back next week.